all women who independent, throw your hands up and who in the world, girls, who in this mother? Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is CYBELE. I am a Harvard Berkeley dual degree program student, and today I'm going to be doing part 2 of how to be a girl boss in 2022 and level up your game. Honestly, this is not just for women, how to be a girl boss. This is just a term that I like to use for the people in their life that want to go after everything they want, who like to be independent, who are self-sufficient, emotionally, spiritually, financially, mentally, in every sense of the word, going after their goals and uplifting others in the same process. So we're going to start off with point number 1. Show up as the type of woman who a little girl would look up to on the street and say, I want to be like her when I grow up. I like to use this example a lot because most of the time when we're doing actions, we're like, oh, you know what, it doesn't matter if I procrastinate a little or if I'm not as disciplined today, I'm tired. Oh, it's okay if I push that off. It's not really important. Oh, forget about homework, you know, that's not as important. I'm just gonna go to this party. But if you really think, if there was a little you, or if there's a little girl or a child on the street, you would want them to say, oh my God, they're my role model. I want to be like them when I grow up. What kind of person would you show up as every single day? If there was a documentary being made on your life and somebody was filming you 24/7 to catalog your journey to success, what would you be doing? How would you be thinking? What kind of person would you be? Would you be moral? Would you be ethical? Would you uplift others? And of course, you know, we can't be perfect 100% of the time. We're humans, we have flaws, we make mistakes, we often have to apologize for our mistakes, and we stumble, and we fumble, and we fall. But at the same time, I think there's a more deliberate process of going about creating and living your life. Once you have that thought in mind that, okay, what if somebody on the street, a young child, was looking up to me and looking up to my life as an example of how they should live, right? That would completely alter your mindset of how you go about doing things. Part of being a girl boss is setting an example for other girl bosses to come. Point number 2, practice your girl boss strut. I'm not joking on this one, by the way. I think there's something very empowering about having a girl boss strut because it makes you feel like you're setting yourself up for the day. It sets up the tone. You know, if you're listening to music in your AirPods and you're just walking across campus or the street or whatever, and you have that strut and you have that confidence, and the energy is going to rub off on everyone, especially yourself, and it's going to dictate the way you act throughout the day. And it's like a psychological thing that you trick yourself into to make yourself kind of embody this character of the girl boss, especially on days when you don't feel like it. You guys have all seen that thing where Rihanna goes,
what do you do on those days that you don't feel that confident or fearless or powerful like you did out there?
Pretend.
Fake it?
Yeah.
Until we make it?
I mean, why not?
you know, that's kind of the whole energy of practicing your strut, because it kind of allows you to have a mechanism, a switch that you turn on, and automatically girl boss comes out and you're down to business. And regardless of what happened before or the terrible events that happened prior in the day, you do the strut, you feel confident again, you're back in your element, and it's go time. It's go time, baby. Number 3, surround yourself with other girl bosses and like-minded people. Find a tribe that helps elevate your vibe. I cannot tell you the importance of surrounding yourself with like-minded people who are there to help you hold accountability for your actions and all the steps that you take towards your goals. A lot of times it's really hard to just motivate ourselves to say, okay, go do this work, but when you have somebody who's checking up on you, hey, did you get that assignment done? Or it's more so that you kind of have this symbiotic relationship. We provide each other with proper emotional support and mental support and stability, and I think it's really important that you have like-minded people who are on the same path to success as you, who are just as focused as you, who are going to push you to become better. And that's ultimately what life is about. Building a community of people who are going to make you feel good, help you create amazing memories, and also who are there to bring out the best in you. Number 4, watch what you think and say about yourself. So I cannot tell you the amount of times that I've said, oh my God, today is such an unlucky day. Oh, I think I'm really dumb, I'm really stupid, and that kind of reflects in the way things turn out. And I don't know if that's a self-fulfilling prophecy or some people believe in manifestation or whatever it is. It really sets up your mind, and whatever you tell yourself is ultimately what you're going to believe and how you're going to kind of act out your life. So if you tell yourself, I'm capable of all things, I naturally attract good opportunities, I'm naturally abundant, I am smart, I am capable, I am beautiful, I am confident, you know, people naturally gravitate towards my amazing energy. All these things are kind of self-fulfilling prophecies. And it's incredibly important that you feed your mind positivity. We are constantly bombarded by negative news because that's what sells a lot of the time. In a culture that constantly thrives off of your insecurities, it's so important to be the one there to reaffirm your own value to yourself and to say, I am abundant, I am smart, I am capable. Because so many times I've heard people say, oh, I'm too broke to do that. Oh, da-da-da-da-da. And when people say that, I just immediately cut them off and I say, stop that right now. Stop that right now. Because every time you affirm that you're broke, you're basically telling your mind, okay, let's seek evidence in my external world that I am broke, and therefore I don't have the resources to do what I want in life, and therefore, you know, that's going to hinder me from doing the things that I want. And truth be told, you want to tell yourself that you are abundant, or that you're at least working your way towards that, or you say, I don't have the money yet. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just a more positive and optimistic way of framing it, and it makes all the difference in the way that you feel, the way you act, and ultimately the way things pan out. Number 5, spend more time talking about your ideas, your dreams, and your visions rather than what other people are doing. I know it's really tempting to go play the comparison game, or just play the game of judgment at all and just say, oh, but she's doing this, she's not doing that, he's doing this, they're not doing that, and whatnot, and to kind of just size yourself up and then sometimes say something negative about someone because it makes you feel better about yourself. There's no return on your investment when you invest your negative energy and thoughts into someone else. In the long span of your life, there's no return on being negative about other people. Trust me, we've all been there, but we've been at the place where we feel like we want to compare ourselves to others because subconsciously it makes ourselves feel better. But honestly, that's not a very productive and not a very fulfilling way to go about living your life, because it just leads to misery. And spend more time talking about visions, thoughts, and ideas, because that's what fuels you. That's what makes you feel good about yourself, and that's what makes you feel like you can live up to your potential. That's ultimately what's going to create and foster more success in your life. It's really exciting to talk about, your future visions and your goals and the things that you're going to do. And then also, this quote, less talking, more action, that's very important too. So when you talk about your visions, goals, and ideas and your big plans for the future, also make sure that you're executing on them. And then adding on to that point, make sure you don't tell your visions, your goals, your dreams, and ideas to the wrong people, because some people are not going to secretly be happy for you. They're going to project their insecurities and their own failures and whatnot onto you. And so I think you have to be very, very, very conscientious of who you're sharing it with, and that you're sharing it with the people who are going to help you, reach that vision and also help support you along the way. So that's also something very, very important to be cognizant of. Number 6, use your insecurities to fuel you towards your success. I know that may sound a little counterintuitive when I've talked about confidence and using that to kind of fuel you towards your success, but I think there's also something to be said about using the shadow side of you to propel you towards the same goals that you have. I think when you tap into your insecurities, you're also proving to yourself that you can succeed despite the negative things that are in your head. We as human beings have a duality to us. There's the dark, there's the light, there's the confidence, there's the insecurity, and I think that without acknowledging the insecurity, you can't really move towards the confidence. And I also think that there's strength and not necessarily perceiving insecurity as a bad thing all the time, because that's kind of what makes us human, and it's what makes us flawed, and it's what makes us beautiful, and it's what makes us more authentic in our story and in the narrative that we have to deliver towards the world. I use my insecurities a lot of times as the fuel for success. I think people tell me that I'm too rambunctious, or I'm too loud, or I'm too forthright, and yes, I am a lot of those things most of the time, but I never do it out of maliciousness or trying to kind of overpower others. It's more so that I have an abundance of ideas and thoughts and things that I want to contribute to the world. That's part of my personality, and I don't think there's any shame in it. But of course, it's been an insecurity of mine where people have told me I need to kind of tone it down a bit. People have told me I need to be more quiet or not, because everybody has that thing, whether you're introverted, whether you're too extroverted, whether you're too quiet, whether you're too loud, too tall, whatever it is. That is something that you can use as your superpower, and even the most powerful personal brands in the world have been built off of that insecurity as well. Number 7, embrace embarrassment. You have to embrace the fact that when you try new ideas or contributing new thoughts and visions and executing on these things, you're going to be embarrassed a lot of the times, because people are going to see you starting from ground zero, or people are going to think that you're kind of cringeworthy. You're in a classroom full of people that are way smarter than you, and trust me, I go to Harvard, so there are definitely moments. I remember in my skepticism and knowledge class, everybody had something to contribute, and I felt kind of isolated, because a lot of times I would let my own insecurities of whether I sounded dumb or smart enough kind of hinder me from being able to think and being able to generate ideas about the text we were reading or the concept. It would let the hinder myself a lot of the times. There's something very, 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 very liberating about just saying, you know what, I'm going to embrace being embarrassed. I'm not going to let it stop me from sharing my thoughts and perspectives on the world. I always kind of embrace the notion of, if I am the smartest person in the room, or if I think at least I'm in a position to perceive myself that way, I'm in the wrong room, because that's not a room where I can grow in. That's not a room that I can learn in. That's not a room that I can stretch farther in. And I think that is essential to, in hindsight, our growth as human beings. Number 8, and this is kind of building upon the last point, get out of your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone. Go talk to that person that you think has an interesting story that they shared in class. Go talk to that person that you would like to get to know more. Go ask that person for an interview, go contact their manager. Understand that like all of that fear, all of those mental barriers, they're mental. Precisely, they're just in your head. And once you get over that, life gets so much more fun, and it's really fun proving to yourself that, hey, look, I did that and it's not as scary as I thought it would be, and I got it over with, and whatever. Also, when you get out of your comfort zone, you're able to network with more people and learn about new things that you never thought were possible. Ultimately, that is going to help you in your success, because the most successful people, one of the big traits that they share is that they're risk takers and that they're very good people persons. Being a people person is about having emotional intelligence and kind of utilizing that to help you in your journey towards success, and just in general, it enriches your life to be a people person. And I know for a lot of individuals that's a challenge, but I think it's a valuable skill to kind of just say, you know what, I'm gonna put aside my pride and just go for it. If you're gonna go up and talk to somebody, they're not gonna pull out their fangs and like eat your head off. That's just not how it works most of the time. I don't know, there's some crazy people out here in this world, okay? And I think this is the most important point that I have to say about this piece of advice. Everybody's way more concerned about themselves than they are about how you look and how you present yourself. And that's not to be like, okay, you're not the main character, but in everyone else's story, they're the main character. That is very redeeming. If I mess up or if I'm embarrassed, like, that's not the end of my life, that's not the end of be all, and I'm not gonna die. Number 9. Respect every single minute of your day. Now, I'm not saying that you need to be like working and going productivity, toxic hustle culture all the time, but if you're gonna take breaks, try to plan it. Or if you're gonna have these spontaneous moments, create a little leeway, a little dead time for you to be able to do that. That means respecting your time in terms of who you give your energy to. Make sure that you're not spending your time on things that make you feel bad just because you think that that is the social expectation from you. Especially for all people watching my channel who are potentially going through college or in their young adulthood or who are still young teens. A lot of times as humans, there's this expectation for us to, we have to go to this thing, we have to keep up a relationship with that person because yada yada yada, we have to keep safe face or whatever. Make the time to create those barriers for yourself, and in respecting every moment of your day, it's respecting who you give your energy and your time to and what you give your energy and your time to. And on to my final point, there is strength in vulnerability. There is a lot of strength in vulnerability, my girl bosses. A lot of the times that we kind of have this very hyper-independent vibe that we have going on because we think that that's somehow going to have people respect us more. But there's a lot of strength in showing your multifacetedness. And I think that's kind of the impetus for starting this channel and discussing the topics that I share as well, because I don't want to show the life of a student in the US or just the life of a young adult in general as kind of live up to this American ideal, the epitome of the work hard all the time, 24/7, grinding towards your goals, success, American dream kind of thing, because that's just not the reality of it. And you know, girl boss, I'm independent, I don't need anybody. Truth be told, humans are hardwired for human connection, and I would be lying if I said that I didn't crave love and affection like everybody else does, because that's the truth. Humans are hardwired for connection, and love is in our DNA. And as cheesy as that sounds, love is in our DNA. There's nothing wrong with voicing your concerns and your needs and saying, listen, I need help, listen, I need more mental health breaks during the day, and being vulnerable with the people that you feel comfortable about it. There is absolutely strength in vulnerability, because a lot of the times we live in a culture that doesn't allow people to speak up about it, and I'm going to say it especially for the male viewers of this channel. I understand that our culture suppresses male mental health a lot of the times and says, oh, be a man, man up, why are you crying, why are you letting people see that you're vulnerable? And to you, I applaud anyone who's trying to dismantle those very harmful gender stereotypes. And just know that there are people in this world who appreciate your vulnerability, who appreciate that you're showing your emotions and your multifacetedness, and it's one of the most attractive qualities in a human being, the ability to kind of demonstrate that you have multiple facets to your personality and your identity. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope this video was helpful, and I hope it gave you some motivation, some inspiration, some spark of hope to help you go about your 2022 and level up and become a girl boss. If you enjoyed this video, share this video with your friends or other girl bosses. Like, comment, subscribe so we can get this message out to more people, and I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful year full of abundance, blessings, success, and joy, and health and happiness. Mwah!